Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I will be showing you how to use Elementor to create a beautiful professional website like this from scratch with Elementor using no templates. Everything will be from scratch. In case you are a beginner in Elementor, we will cover the very basics of everything you need to know about Elementor, right from installing Elementor, how to use elements, containers, all the necessary settings and features of Elementor. We'll cover how to apply margin, padding, justify content, align items, etc. Then we'll go ahead to create our beautiful website from scratch using Elementor.
Crane Tech World.
Yeah. So, and as you already know, for you to be able to build any kind of website at all, you need to actually purchase hosting and then a domain, and you can actually get this from quite a lot of websites, and we have quite a number of them. And the one I actually do recommend is Bluehost and HostGator, but personally I used HostGator, and as you can see, according to Forbes, they're actually the number 2 among all of the 10 hosting company that they recommend. So Bluehost is also good, but I have much more experience with HostGator because I've been using them for years now. And if you also want to get started, you can also try them out. I can show you of a good result. So once you're ready to purchase your hosting, you can just kindly use the link in my description. It's an affiliate link, so if you click on it, it's going to take you to HostGator's website, just like this, where you can actually get your hosting and domain at also a discounted price if you use my link. So all you have to do is just click on get started like this. So then be taken to the plans. So these are the plans that they have right now. So as a beginner, or if you're just starting out with your website design, so you can just buy this first plan, which is the Ashley plan. So all you have to do is just click on the buy now button, then you'll be taken to the checkout page. So from the checkout page you can actually set the domain you want to actually use. So what I'll be doing in this video, I'm just going to be doing a quick walkthrough of this part, because I have a separate video for this, so which I'll be linking in the video once it's ready. So but for now, let's assume I just want to go with any domain. So let's just say, okay, I want to go with this domain now. So you just put it there, then you come down. So you can also search for the availability, if it's available or not. Then here you choose how many months you want to purchase. If it's for 12 months, you can just put it at 12 months. Then you actually fill up all of these informations, password. To this is just to create your account with HostGator. Then you fill in your billing details and all. Then after that, you also fill in your card details if you are using card, and if you're also using, or if you are using PayPal, whichever one you want to actually use. So then once you are done filling up your details, you'll be taken to the amount. You actually have to scroll down to the payment option here. So from here you can also decide to remove any irrelevant features. So for now, I think this is the only feature that is ticked. So, and it's because it is highly recommended. So if you should leave it like that, so all you'll be paying for a year is $68.88 with the discount. So you can just go on ahead and make the payment, and after you've made the payment, you'll be redirected to your dashboard, where you can actually log into your cPanel. And so, but according to the recent update on HostGator, once you're done purchasing their hosting, they will just automatically install WordPress for you, and all you have to do is just click on edit website to start editing your WordPress website. So right now, I'll just go on to log into my WordPress website. And so right here, I'm going to have to log into my WordPress dashboard. So and you need to also understand. So if you want to log into your WordPress dashboard, so you just have to type your website address, then followed with WP admin, then press enter. Then you'll be taken to your login page. So from here, you can simply log into your WordPress dashboard. So I'll just say remind me later. So right here, this is my website, and on my website here, I already have a couple of plugins and some stuff. So I already have Elementor installed. So in case if you do not have Elementor, all you have to do is just come into plugin here, then go to add new plugin. So I love to open a new tab so that I retain my dashboard. So right here, I'll just scroll down here and then search for Elementor. And once you've gotten Elementor, you just have to click on install just like this and activate. But in my own case, I already have Elementor, so what I have to do now is just to update it. So I'll just click on update now. So my Elementor is updated. In your own case, you just have to click install and then activate. Then go to your themes. So I already have theme as well. So just come to theme here. So then mostly I use Ocean WP, Hello Elementor, and then Flux for my themes, and then as well as Astra. So you can choose to go with any one of them. You can just choose to go with Ocean WP here. So I'll just update the theme here. So in your own case, all you have to do is just come to where it says add new theme here. Just click on add new theme. So as you can see, these are the themes that I use most frequently: Ocean WP, Hello Elementor, and then Astra. So you can use any of those three as for creating your website. So now what I need to do now is we need to create our page. So I'll just click on add new page. I'll open it in a new tab. So you can name your page any name that you like. In this video we're just working with Elementor, so you can just give your page any name, but in my own case I'll just name it home. So I'll be building a home page with Elementor in this video. So here I'll just come into 100% full width, disable paddings, and then header I'll just disable it, then name title, disable title as well. So then click on publish. So if you are using Ocean WP, you will have these functions here. So then I'll just click on edit with Elementor, so we can start building our website with Elementor. So once you are in Elementor, you always have this pop-up, this notification. So for you to be able to close it, what I do is just I'll come here to this option here, whichever browser you are using. Just go to the options function, then you reduce the zoom out, so that you can be able to get this close button. So once this close button is showing you, just close it. Then you can set it back to the normal 100%. So right here is our Elementor working area, where we can actually get to start using Elementor to build our website. So on my left here is the element section. So we call all of these elements. So this is the layout, container and grid, and then This from basic here downwards are the elements. These are the elements. We'll start working with it very soon. So right up here, as you can see, is the element tab. This the global tab. This where global here means this is where you set your global color, global font, and other stuffs like that. But we won't be using this. So this is the SEO tab for ranking your page and other. So we are not going to be doing that in this video. We just want to build our website in this video. So right here on the elements tab, as you can see, we have the layout as container. So if you have been into web design for some time now, you discover that the latest version of Elementor starts using container. The Elementor we have previously was actually using section. So I also have a separate video for people that still love to use Elementor section. So this is the dated version of Elementor. So we now have container instead of section. So I will also link the video of Elementor section in the description below so you can learn that too. But in this video we'll be working with container. So there's no much differences, though if you are able to use Elementor you're already good to go with any of the two. And right here below here we have this is the settings button, navigator, history, responsive mode, review changes and updates. This settings here is where you get to do your Elementor settings, your page settings. So from here you can choose to change the page layout to Elementor canvas full width theme landing page. So now the Elementor canvas means that everything will be pure Elementor, meaning that there will not be footer or header or any other stuff in the website. Just only what you do with the Elementor will be there. So and then full width means that if there's maybe title of the page somewhere here or sidebar or anything, this Elementor full width will eradicate that, but the footer will still be there. Then we have theme. So this is the theme default landing page, and so we just go back to default here. So we'll be working with the default layout. Then if you go to settings as well, you can choose the style from here, the body style, the background. From here you can choose to change the color of the entire page. You can choose to make it red, black. This is where you choose the color of the entire page, but I don't want any color, so I'll just come here and click this place where it says clear. So just click on it and then to clear. So and then advanced, so you don't need to do anything here at all, just leave all of these the way they are. So now this is the navigator. We'll be working with the navigator. So now as you can see, there's nothing inside this navigator yet. So this navigator is the one that helps us to be able to move around all of our containers, everything we have done. So once we start working, you will see the work of this navigator. So history. So if there's anything we have done in the past and you want to go back to, like when I changed the background, so and then other things that we have done on the website. So revisions, I don't usually use this though, but it's also almost the same thing as actions that we have done. So then we have responsive mode. So this is where we work on the responsiveness of the website. Once you start creating your website, we usually do desktop first, meaning that we create it on desktop, then come to tablet to see how it looks like, then we adjust it, then come to mobile to see how it looks like to adjust it. So this is where we work on the mobile responsive. So I love to always have it on so that I can easily adjust each time I want to check how the website looks like on other devices. Then here is the preview change. So if you want to view your website, the Elementor here and all this will not will not allow you to see the full view of your website. So you can just click on this view here, then it's going to display the full view of the website here where you can see what you are doing. So right now we do not have anything yet. Then this update where you can save your changes, so you should always do this so you can always save your changes. Then we have a small button here where you can save anything you have done on this page as a template, so that you can a template where you can reuse again in another page or in another website. So now if I should click here, we have site settings, team builder. So now all of these will not be, these are much more complicated settings of which we will not be looking at for now, because just working with the elements alone is enough to build a stunning website, of which we'll be doing. So the last option we have here is this, which if you are maybe if you are on settings or any other place, this is how to get back to your element. So once you click here to take you back to your element, maybe you are on this place as well, you can click here to always get back to your element tab, because this is what we'll be using to work. Tab, because this is what we'll be using to create our website. So very quickly, let me show you how the element works. So to start working on your website with Elementor, you can actually create a new container. Like I told you, we this Elementor here is container based, so we work using container. So you can choose to create a new container by clicking on this plus icon here, or by simply just dragging it inside. So now let me show you. If I click on the plus, as you can see, we have Flexbox and grid. So I will choose Flexbox. So now these are the structure we have for Flexbox. So for grid, I will actually be covering grid in another video, but for the sake of this video, we'll actually be working with Flexbox. So now with Flexbox, you can choose to either choose a single container like this. This is a single container, this is a single container, but the difference is that this container actually faces down, meaning that any element that you put in this container will be going down, and element you put in this container will be going right. So let me just show you. So now this is a 2-column container. This is also a 2-column container, but one is wider than the other. This is a 4-column container, and this is a 3-column container. So let me choose one like this. So now we have a container. So inside this container, we have the layout option here to edit it. We have the style option here and the advanced option. All of these are to customize this container. So inside the container, once you click on this place here, it will display this editing area. And so before I go on, I would like to explain, if on your own Elementor you might not be seeing this icon. So this icon belongs to Envato Element, and it's mainly because I have Envato Element plugin installed. So that's why I have this icon. So now under the layout, that is where we have the container layout. I can choose to go back to grid from here. I'll just leave it at Flexbox. So then we have the column width here, and inside the column width we have two options, boxed and full width. So the box will not actually will not take the whole space, the whole view of the website screen, while the full width will take the whole view. So you cannot actually see that in display here until you start working, so you understand what I'm talking about. But box will just take the portion here. There will be a little bit space by the right and by the left, while full width will take up the whole screen, to the such that even if you minimize the website, even if you zoom out rather, it will still take up the whole width. While if I should go to box here, as you can see, if you look at this line here, you see it has been boxed, so it will just take up this boxed width here, compared to full width, which takes up the whole area. So that's how to check it out. So once you start working on the website, you will see the difference. Then we have the width. So here we can choose to, the width here actually signifies to whatever element you put inside of it. So once you adjust this width, as you can see, it's going to actually shrink the width of this container to whatsoever size that you want it to be. So I'll just put it at 100. The same as height as well, you can choose to in- increase the height of the container so it can be long or or whichever one you want. So and then after that we have items. So we have the direction, so you can simply change the direction. If you remember, when we actually chose the direction here, we chose the downward direction. So that's why it is at downward here. So you can also change it from here. So the this direction means that, for example, let me show you what I mean. So I'll go back to elements here. So I want to go and choose an element. So let me say I want to choose an heading element. I'll just drag it here. So now let's say I want to have a text element. So I'll just drag that one too. So as you can see, any other element that you drag here will always come below. Will always come below because the direction is downward. So now, because I have chosen an element, this area here now have customization for the element. So any customization I do here will only apply to the element. So if I want the customization to be changed back to this container, all I have to do is just come here to on this container, and I'll just click on it, then to take me back to where we were before. So we can continue adjusting our container. So if I should change it to right, as you can see, it simply takes the element to the right. So if I want to go back to my element now and I want to choose another element like image, it will always go by the side. So it will not go below like before again. It will not, so it will go to its side just like this. So now we have them beside each other. So let me go back to my container so I can change it back to downward. So I'll just come here and click on this place and then change it downward. So if I change it to the reversed, so it's actually going to reverse it. Then if I change it upward, then it's going to change it upward. Then we have our hiding here. So I don't usually use these two, so I only use either this or, let me go back up, either this or this. So that's how to go with the direction. So I will come down here. So now we have the justify content, and the way justify content works, justify content and align items, they actually do almost similar work. They do almost the same thing, but they vary in terms of the direction you are using. As you can see, we are currently using the vertical direction, the one that points downwards. So while we are using the one that points downwards, we can actually make use of align items. So as I clicked on start here, as you can see, nothing happened, and because by default they are already on start. Start means that they should be aligned to the left of the screen on which they are. So I should click center. As you can see, the title and the text actually moved to the center of the screen. So now the image is not moving because the image here is taking the whole of the screen. So if you want to see how to actually work, to see the effect, what we can do is we choose one image. So I'll just to choose an image here, I'll just click on the pencil here. So this is where we choose an image. So these are some of the images I have on my website. So I'll just choose this, select it. So as you can see right here, the customization area here is for the image, edit image. So I want to go back to the container. So I just go back here and click on it. So you can continue with the container customization. So now if I should click on start here, as you can see, the three elements moved to the start, center, end, then stretch. So if I should use justify content, we might not see any effect yet because the direction is at vertical. So if I should choose horizontal direction which faces the right, so when the element is stacked beside each other, that is when we can actually use justify content. But you can notice that it's not yet working, and the main reason is because it is occupying the full width. The container is occupying the full width. So what I can do is, if I delete this, so now that I have deleted the text element, so if I should center it, as you can see, it has moved to the center, and end here to make it move to the end. The space between, it's going to give the element spaces. So let me duplicate this. um, so I'll just click on this container here, so drag it down, let me see, as you can see, and start. And if we should go back to the align items, it's going to actually work center here, is going to put the text at center, end to the end, stretch, and then start. So you can play around all of these alignments to see how they work. So then we have gaps. So gaps here is just like, it works just like padding. So you can use it to add space in between the elements. So you can gap the column and the row, but basically I don't use all of this. I don't use gap. I don't use I don't usually use all of this the most. I basically use margin and padding. So we are still going to get there. So then we have wrap. So the way this works is that you cannot see it yet unless we have a full width element, but I don't usually use it as well. So let's just leave that. Additional options, all of this, you don't actually need all of this, so you can just leave that. So that is that for layout section. So after we are done with the layout section, we have the style section, and it is inside the style that we get to actually work on, give the background color, the background type, like is it going to be classic or gradient. Are we going to be using image for the background? So under the background we have a lot of stuff like scrolling effect and up. So now this here, if I should change the color here, it's going to apply for the container. So if I should change the color like this, as you can see, the container is red. Now this is only applicable to the container, because if I should scroll down, you see that every other stuff say are white. If I should open another container here, you see that it has its own white background. So once you click on a container or any element to start customizing or edit, anything that you do will only be applicable to the element you are editing or the container. For example, this is heading element. So if I click on this now, we have edit heading. So if I go to style and I change the color from blue to white, as you can see, it has changed it. So if I want to edit the container, I have to go back here to click on the edit container. So from here again, I can change the color to whatever color I want. You can as well decide to use image as the background. So you can click on the image here, then you can choose something like this and select. As you can see, it has changed. Then you can choose to work on the size. I want the image, the full image to be displayed. So I'll just come to position here. So I'll come to display size and I'll choose cover. So, or okay, so it's going to be contain. So as you can see, stuffs like this, and then you can choose to send to the position of the image and all. So you're still going to work more on stuffs like this later. Then these are the we also have gradients. Like if you want to use two color as your background color, so one can be red, the other can be somehow black in color, and you can change the location like this horizontally and vertically. So this is the blur. Then you can change linear to radial, as you can see here. You can go back to linear, then you can scroll down. This is the angle, vertical or horizontal, then scrolling effects. If you want it to be sticky while scrolling and a lot of stuff. So but what you can do is you can always come back here to all of these settings to check everything by yourself and see the effect that it will have. So those are the most important aspects of the background under the style tab. So I'll just close this background, go to background overlay. So background overlay works best with pictures. So what I'll do is I'll go back to background and change it back to picture. So to do that, I'll just go back to classic here. So now that it is on picture, as well you can also use video. If you want to use video background, you can just paste the YouTube link here. So to actually display the video, but we will not be using that now. So let me just go back to picture here. So I will leave it at this picture. So I will just go to background overlay here. Then you can choose classic, then choose the color that you want to overlay on the picture. Something like this. Something like this. So whatever color you use, it's going to lay on the background that you have chosen. So now we have chosen an image as our background. So the color I'm using here will be on top of the image in a transparent mode, as you can see here. So can also choose to use gradient, meaning two colors. So while one is red, I can choose to use purple to the other. So and that's how to use background overlay. Then border. The border is the line at the edges of the container or any element you are using. So to use the border, if you want to use the border, all you have to do is just change this default to solid or any other effect that you like, but let's use solid. Then once you've done that, you need to increase the border width to at least 1 all round. So this top, right, bottom and left. It means 1 pixel for the top here, 1 pixel for the left, right here, 1 pixel for the bottom and 1 pixel for the left. Then you now choose the color of the border. So let me choose red so it can be blaring. So but for now, like I told you, will not see any border yet. So to see the border, let me increase it a bit. So as you can see, I have increased the pixel. So the more you increase the pixel, the more revealing it is going to be. So what I can do is you can as well choose where you want the border to actually show. For example, if I don't want the border to show at if I only want the border to be at the bottom, right now if you should choose any figure, it's going to give it all around because this place is activated. What I mean is if I change it to 20, everything is going to become 20. So if I want to change it individually, I just have to deactivate this. So I'm going to click it once and now it is deactivated. So now I can choose to change just only one of them like this. So I can remove the border at the top, put 0. As you can see, the border has disappeared. I can remove the border at the right. I'll just choose 0. I can I can remove the border at the left, put 0. Then when I scroll down, you see the border at the bottom is there. So that's how border works. So you can always play around all of these things. And if you also want it to be that okay, it is when, because there's something we call hover effect, and this hover here, hover means when your mouse is on top of any element, maybe container or anything, an effect that you want to be displayed. So right now, as my mouse is on top of it, there's no effect. So I can choose that okay, when my mouse is on this container here, the border should appear. So if I should go back to over, I'll change this default to solid like I did the other time. So then I'll just give it all rounder, maybe 15 pixels. Then I'll choose the color I want. Maybe I can use blue now. So then I drag it up to blue here. So now you see that it's not showing, but if I should put my mouse on it, it's going to show like this. So it's a form of effect. It's one way of adding effect to your elements. So that's how to do that. So that's and under border we now have box shadow. So that's all. Under border we also have border radius. So border radius, you cannot see it unless we use okay, you can actually see it. Let me just increase it so you can see what border radius is. Now I'm going to put it at 50. As you can see, we have a rounded shape area here, and the border radius is the reason for that. So with border radius you can choose to, now if I increase it, it's going to eventually turn to a circle if I should continue doing that. So that's one of the way we create a circle effect in Elementor. So that's how it is. So if I should just write 500, you see, so it's going to, so that's how border radius works. And you can as well do, you can as well choose to make it individual. Like if you just want a particular part of the container to have the border radius like this. So that's how border radius actually works. So there's one thing, in case you want to view your work, like I told you. Now let me save what we have done so far. Now you can choose to preview by clicking on this icon here, then it's going to preview. And then we can also choose to preview by just closing this place here, then it's going to preview. So now because of time, I don't want to spend much of time on this because we have a website to design. So we also have shape divider, so we'll be using that in the course of the designing process. So you can use it to divide, like if I should choose mountain here now. So so now the top is already having an effect, mountain effect. So but normally you can use it to divide between two elements. So now let's go to the advanced. So let's go to the advanced. Under the advanced we have the layout. Under layout we have margin and padding. Margin and padding is a very important aspect because it plays a big role in the entire design process. So now what margin does is it gives space to your element or container from the outside, while padding gives space to your element and container from the inside. So now let me just quickly illustrate what I mean. So now if I should increase, now let me deactivate. I'm going to remove the, now so that you can see it clearly. So I'll just remove the shape divider so you can be able to see it very well. So I'll just put it at none. So now let me also remove the border radius. So now I believe you can see it very well. So now let me also remove this over effects. So I'll just put it at no. So now I can just put the border here. So now I'm going to try to give the element some some border. So I'll just put it at 50. Okay, 50 is too much. Let me just use 10. So now we have border on it. So so that everything can be clear, I'll come back to the layout here. So I just want to remove all of this, so everything will just be at the default. So I have removed all of the margin and padding. So I just want to show you the difference. So now let's say I want to give it a margin from the top. So I can just put it at 50 pixels. As you can see, the space is from the outside, like I explained the other time. So margin is spaces given to elements from the outside. So if I give it padding from the top, the same 50 pixel, as you can see, it gives the space from the inside by dropping down the title text here. So the same thing from the bottom as well. If I do that from the bottom, so if I give it margin from the bottom, you might not see anything because there's nothing below it. But if I want you to see the effect, I will just put a container there. As you can see, this container has 50 pixel space. So let me go back and select it again. So now let me go down. So I'll remove the space now. And as you can see, the container is now closely touching it. So it is touching. So I want to click on the container again. So now if I should come back here and give it 50, then you see it has spaced it. So if I give it 50 pixel padding, it has spaced the picture. So it has given it a space inside of the element itself by spacing the picture. So that's how margin and padding works. So here align self is almost just like the way our align items work, but it's just that align self align a single element, unlike the way justify content and align content carries the whole element inside of a container. So let me come back here. So we can usually use align self for elements. Maybe if I should click on this element now, so you can actually use align self for it just like this. So it's going to work. So not for a container as a whole. So that's how align self works. Then we have order here, and so this order here also works mainly for the elements. So but believe me, I will just tell you to leave this one, and then position is another stuff entirely. So but with position it doesn't work well with container, so it works mainly well with single element as well. So I'll just say you should leave the position here. So what I mean is, if I should come here on elements and I scroll down to where we have position, there is position here. So we can choose absolute or fixed. If I choose absolute, I'll be able to drag the element to wherever I want on the website. So and if I choose fixed, so the element will be stacked around from the, it's going to be from the dragging will actually correlate from the edges of the website. So then I'll just return it back to default. So you don't need to, you can play around with the positioning, but I don't usually use it a lot. So that's how to work with positioning. So then we have motion effects under advanced. So for this motion effect here, we actually be working with motion effect when we start building our website. So it's the animation, Elementor animation. So way of giving animation in out for elements. So for example, this is it here, entrance animation. We can give it entrance animation. Then after motion effects, we have transform. So I will just tell you to leave transform for now. Then we have responsive, which is very important as well. So with responsive, you can choose to hide or display elements on desktop, tablet, mobile. So what I mean is that if there are some particular aspects of your work that you are suitable for desktop and not suitable for mobile, you can just hide it on mobile. So when you come to mobile here, as you can see, it is black, meaning that in display it will not show. So when you are on mobile, nobody will be able to view this area. But when you are on desktop, they'll be able to view it, and also on tablet. If you want it to display only on desktop, you can hide it on tablet as well. And if you want it the other way around, you want it to display on mobile, you can hide it on desktop. So that when you come back to desktop, it will not actually show. So after the responsive, so I'll just close it here. So then we have the attributes and the custom CSS. So I'll just let's leave this for now because we will not actually be making use of all of this. So now I guess we can start building our website right now. So now I'll just remove everything I've done so far so we can start from the scratch. So right now we'll start building our website. And so to do that, in building website we have various sections of the website. After the first section is usually the header. So but right now we'll not be starting with the header. So after the header we have the hero section. We also call it banner. So the hero section is usually what we have after the header. So we'll be building out the hero section very quickly now. And to do the hero section, so I will be using a flex box and then a flex box of 2 columns. So I'll choose 2 columns here. So we have a column here and then we also have another column here, meaning that we can have different elements in this place and also different elements in this place as well. So let me show you what I mean. So I will just come here to element here, then I will drag in heading inside of this place. So we have heading here, then I want to drag 2 buttons. So to drag button, I'll just have to scroll down and look for the button element, which is this. So I will drag it here. So then I want to drag another button here. So because I actually want the button to be 2 buttons, so now actually what I want to do is this text, this heading element is actually going to be on top like this, and then I want these buttons to actually be beside each other on a straight line. So but we're actually going to be doing that very soon. So because this is a column, if I should change the direction, everything will be on a straight line. But what I want is I want this heading to be on its own line, to take up this whole line, while these buttons come under it, and the 2 buttons should also be on their same line. So if I should change it back to vertical, everything will go back to vertical. So how can I achieve that? So the only way I can achieve that is to actually add a container inside this container. So I'll show you what I mean. So now we already have a container here. So I can also drag in a container inside of another container, of which I'm going to do. So now we have this is the parent container now, and now we have another container inside of this container. So now let me illustrate what we are doing now. I'm going to open my navigator. So I told you, I promise you we're actually going to be using it. So now this is the um container, the main container, which is this. So while I click on this, you see it has selected the main container. So this next second container that we have here is the inner container that we have inside of this place. We actually created two column containers, so that's why we have a container here and then another container here. So inside of this container we now have another container, which is this. So that's why this looks as if it is a bit inside. So this is the parent container that housed all of the other container. So after this parent container, we now have another two container, which is one and then two. So and inside of this first container, we now have another container inside of it, which is this, which I just added not quite long ago. So now to achieve my goal of actually making these two buttons come inside of this container to be on a straight line, so I have to drag them inside of this inner container here. I'll just drag it inside. So one of them is already inside, so I'll drag the second one too inside of the container. So now the two buttons are already inside of this container. So now what I can do now, I can just click on this container here as a whole, then I will change the direction to horizontal so that the buttons can be on a straight line. So it's as simple as that, though I know it might be confusing to you at first, but I promise you, if you can watch this video again and practicalize it, you actually get it. So that's how it is. So now we have been able to achieve that. So what I want to do now is I want to actually format everything so that it can look nice. So to do that, I'm actually going to space. I'm going to give some padding to the main container here, like I told you before, padding is space within. So I'm going to have like 50 pixels on the top and then 50 pixels on the bottom. Then inside of this container itself, I'm going to also space it. So I'm going to give it some padding as well, 50 pixels from the top, then 50 pixels from the bottom, then as well you can say 20 pixels from the left, because this is the left. So any figure we give to it, any spacing we give to it here, we will apply to it from the left. So now you are giving it some spacing from the left. So now we have it here. So we can as well, so now that we have spaced it from the left, we can also, now I'm going to put I can choose to put an image element here. So I can drag an image element here. So what I will do is I want it to be centered. So just click on this container here, then I'll come to layout. So then I'll scroll down here, then I'll come here under center, then justify center. So okay, sorry, this should be on start. So justify center will put them at the center. Just so to select the picture you want, so you can just click on the picture element here, so the customization can be changed to the image. Then I'll just click on choose image here. So currently these are some of the pictures that I have on the website. Uh, so I can choose this now, and if I click on select, so the image will be displayed here. So but for the sake of this course, I already have a sketch of what I want to do, so I'm not using image. So you can simply delete any element you want by just coming to this pencil icon, right click on it and then click on delete. So what I want to use is called image carousel. So it's different from normal image in such that you can add multiple images and to be sliding. So if you are searching for an element and you can't see it immediately, you can just come here to where it says search widget here and type the name of the element. So this is it, image carousel. So I'll just drag it inside this place. So now what I want to do is I want to select some certain number images. So I'll just click here. So I'll upload them. I'll think I have them here. So these are the images. So all I have to do now is I'm just going to drag it inside here. So I'll just highlight everything together. So then I'll drag them inside here. Then I'll click on create a new gallery. So you can choose the position of the image, the one you want to show first from here. So you can also remove from here as well and add more. So click on insert gallery. So the image will be displayed. As you can see, the image has been displayed now. So it's actually going to be scrolling. So we have an arrow here where people can just scroll, and they can also scroll through this little icon here. So but the way I want this image to display is now currently we have 3 images displaying at a time. So I don't want that. So once I want to show, I just want a single image to show at a time. So I'll come to slide to show here and I'll change it to 1. So now it is 1. So I don't want it to be a thumbnail under the image resolution. I want it to be full so that the image can show in full. So this is it. So then after that, I will let me drag this navigation here. So I don't want the arrows by the side here, and I also don't want these dots. So I'll just come here to navigation and I'll say no. So the image can be scrolling automatically by itself. So now the what is it called, the animation. Let's come to additional options. So autoplay, meaning that it should be scrolling by itself. Pause on hover, meaning that when people come on it, it should stop scrolling, but I don't want that. So I'll just remove the pause on hover. I want it to continue scrolling. So now you can set the speed here, the speed at which it will be scrolling. So currently it is at 5,000 millimeters. So if I should put it at 1,000 millimeters, it's going to be a little bit much more faster now. As you can see, it's much more faster now. So if I should put it at 10,000, it's going to be very slow. So I'll just put it back at 5,000. So now this the effect. That's the so I want it to be to actually fade. So I want it to fade. So as you can see, so this one I want. Then the animation speed. The fading, how long should it take? So I'll just put it at 1000. So as you can see, the fading is very obvious and I like it that way. So you can leave this because we are not actually using the slide effects. So that's under the additional option. So that's what I want to do for this image carousel. And for this place, I will actually be styling this whole container. So to do that, I'll just click on this container here. I want to give it a gradient background. So I'll just come to style here and click on gradient here. So now I'm going to choose the color that I want. So I already have the colors I want to use in my color drawer. So according to the color of my logo. So this is the color code for this. I'll just copy it. Then I'll come back here to the gradient and then I will change color to this. So then I will go back to my color drawer. Then I want to get this second color. So get the color code here. So then I'll change this to the second color. So now I want the angle. uh, Currently now it is stacked on top of each other. I want it to be beside each other like this. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so let me save my changes. So right now we are done editing the second column container. Sorry, I might be I might actually be flipping between column and container. Actually, in section we call um, elements like this column. So, but in container, everything is a container. We do not have column, we do not have section. Everything is a container. So, so now I want to style this heading here. So I already have my text. So in case you are also building website, you should have the text should be written already. So I already have everything I want to written down. So I'll just copy this. And also, if you also want the resources that I'm using, because I'll actually show you how to get them. If you want to get pictures like this, as you can see, they are in PNG format, meaning they do not have any background, and that's why I'm able to use them under this color. So you can just search for anything that you want to search for, but make sure you put PNG in front. So what I did was I searched for responsive responsive web design. I put PNG. So as you can see, so this was how I got the images. So you can just go to images here. So when you are selecting the one you want, make sure that the website you are going to be downloading it has a kind of like PNG in its name to be sure. So like PNG tree, you can check it out, you can open it in a new tab. PNG or is also a good option. PNG Wind, I use them a lot. Then just check for any one of them. So like the PNG tree now, you can simply download these PNG pictures from there. So this is PNG tree. So from PNG tree, you can just click on PNG now, so it can be downloaded. So you get the picture. So, but because of time, I'll actually go back to our project. Now, this is the text I'll be using, and for the button, I would like to use learn more and get in touch. So once they click on this button, it's going to take them to my about page, and this one will be get in touch. So once they click on this one, it's going to take them to my contact page. So that's how I want it. Now I'm actually going to change the font style, so and then the color. So I want it to be white, and then I want the font style to be there are two font style I usually use. I use okay, Tiri rather. I use Railway. You can also try it out. So Railway, use it. You can try it out. I also use Vandana. You can also try this out. And then I also use Albert Sun. Use it. So for this video, I'll actually be going with this. So then for this now, so let me just increase the size a little bit. Yeah, so let's make it at 45 and expand it. So now I want to style the buttons. So let me update what we have done so far. So to style the button, I will just let me come to this container. So I want the button, if I should expand, as you can see, the button is not aligning with the heading. So I want it to be on the straight line with the heading. So I just off the margin and then the padding, because normally what thing about Elementor is there is usually a default margin and padding added to the elements, the container, and so on. So by doing what I just did, by removing, by closing, deactivating margin and padding, to help you to remove any unnecessary spacing in the work. So now, as you can see, it's now on a straight line. So now I want to style the button. So what I will do is, so I'll just come here now. So I'll start with changing the color. So I'm going to use a blue color, something like, so I'll be using a blue color like this. Yeah. So and after that, I will give it some border radius so that it can look well. So this is the border radius, and I want to make the button curved in form like a circle by the side. So to do that, I'll just come here. This is activated, so I want all of you to actually get the figure. So I'll just increase the border radius to around, let me see it at 25. Yeah, I think it's good like this. So let's leave it at 25. So I'm actually going to be maintaining the same font all throughout the website. So now this is the button. So I'll just come to the typography here. That's where we actually change the font or whatever we are using. Just come to typography. At typography, you can change the font, the weight, the style, and everything. So I'll just change it to Albert Sam. So that's how it's going to look like now. So right now, I want it to have an hover effect. I explained to you what hover means the other time, when we are hovering, when your mouse is on a particular element. So meaning when we come here, I want it to actually have an hover effect. So now when they are scrolling on it, so the text color should change to the same color, the blue color here. So as you can see, it has changed. So now it means the background. So this is the background and this is the color. So if I click here, you see, so this is the color for the background and this is the color for the text, so that you will not get confused. Text color is for this color, and then background type here is the color for the background. So I should change this to white now. So when I over it, it's going to turn to this. So let me see how it looks like now. So this is how it looks like now. So now when I also want to add border on it. And so to add a border, you need to know that the border that we have under hover is also different from the general border here. So if you should add the border here, it's going to be for the general, and if you should add border here, it's going to be for the hover. So because when we come back to normal, the border is gone. So let me show you what I mean. So let me stay at the hover. So I'm going to add a border. So it's asking me for a border color, so I'm going to make it white, so that when I hover on it, so I'm going to make it blue, so that when I hover on it, I should have a blue border at its side. So let me, so now I need to activate the border here, so I'll just click on solid one. So now let's see. So this is the border here. So now if you look closely, there's a border, there's a blue border here, but it's not revealing because of the background. So that's how we're actually going to work on this now. So now I want, let's style the second button. So now one thing that we can also do, because I don't want to actually start styling this from scratch again. So I want all the, what I want in this is almost what I have done here. So what I can do is I can just come here to this pencil and click, right click and click on copy. Then I'll right click on this, and then instead of clicking on paste, I'm going to click on paste style. So every of the styling that I've given to this has also been transferred to this. So that's how it works. So but in this case, I don't want it to have the same color. So I want a separate color. So this can be white while this is blue, something like this. So I'll just come to star, then the background color I'll change it back to white. Then the text color is going to be blue. So now because I just copied an element, so that's why it pasted the code element for me. So I'll just clean it. So now I think I have to copy the blue again. So this is what I will do. I just copy the blue. I can just add it in. So that when next I need it, I can always get it. So text color will be blue. Oh, sorry, I've forgotten that I'm on this element. So now what you can do is you can simply click Ctrl Z, or you can go back to history. So then the last action that you did, you just click on it. So now it's going to restore it back to me. So now what I want to do is I want to change it. I actually want to change the color of this one, so I'll just click on it. So once I've clicked on it like that, I'll click on this text color, then I'll paste it. Now we are already having blue. So now I want it to hover to this color, to this background color. So I'll just come to hover here. In the background, I'll change it to blue. Then the text color, I'll change it to white. So that when I hover, it's going to be like this. And then the border should be white. Then at this place, the border should be blue here. So I guess we are done with this. So now there's something else I want to show you, because there's a way we also style our text. So I can also use a little bit of CSS on this, so I'll show you how to do that. For example, if you just want to, as you can see, if we should give this text any color, it's going to apply to everything. So what about in a case where you just want to give a single word in this sentence a separate color, not everything? So in that case, what you can do is you can actually apply a CSS code right here inside the Elementor. So how do we do that? Just go back to the content here. Yeah, in this place, so you can just write this code. So to actually practicalize, just follow along and type out the code the same way I type it out. So then write span here, span, then you close the code. So this is the close tag, so that anything I write inside there should only apply to customer. So let me just show you what to write. Then type style is equals to, then we have double quotes, and inside of the double quotes we have color, then column, then the color code, which is this, then a semicolon. So that's how to do that. So if in case I should remove this span here, see, it's going to give it to every other words in that place. If I want it to be customer generating, so I can just come here and close the code here. So it's just going to be these two words. So that's how to do that. So I just want it to be only customer, then I'll close it here and write span. So that's how to do that. So I want this picture to also be in the middle. So I just come here, center, center, so that when I view the website, everything is centered. Then I want some little space in between of them, so I can just come here, come to layout here, come to space between. So I can also use space around, and then I can also use space evenly. So like I said, I don't usually use all of this. So instead, what I do is I can just adjust it going to by clicking on this container here. Then I'll just go to the advanced. Then I can just add some padding. You can add some padding to the right like this, 20, or I can apply it to the margin. So something like this. So it's going to be to the right. And I can also do the same for, as you can see, the space is already there. And I can also do the same for the second column. I can come here, close this, and then this, in this case now, is going to be to the left, 50. So now we have a good amount of space. So now let me save everything I've done so far. So now, like I said, when you are doing your design, you need to also be conscious of the mobile. So let's see what we have done. So all you have to do is just click on this preview changes, and it's going to show you your full your website in full. So now I'm going to go back to Elementor. So now I want to check my tab view. So on my tab view, this is how it's looking, and my mobile view, this is how it is looking. So we need to adjust it a little bit. So with your knowledge of everything we've done so far, you should be able to adjust. So what I need to do here is I just come here. So because every of the margin and padding that we apply at the desktop view will also be applied to the mobile, so I can just remove this. So I don't think I need the margin in the desktop view. So these two. So now I want it to be on. So from here I can just put some margin to the left, maybe 50. Okay, 30 is okay. Then so what I need to do is I need to reduce this. So every changes that you apply at each um device view will be applicable to that particular view. So if I reduce it in the tablet view, just like this, it's it's actually going to be applicable only to the tablet view, because when I come back to the desktop, this the size is still maintained. Tablet, the size has reduced a bit, but at desktop the size is still maintained. So now let's do for the tablet, for the mobile. So for the mobile, as you can see, it's not yet adjusted well. So for the mobile, what I need to do is I need to also remove those margin that I have applied. So I'll just close everything here. So now at mobile, it will be best if it is centralized. So I'll just come here and put it at the center. For these two, they need to be centralized. So I'll just click on the container here, then come here to the layout here, and then on this justify content, put it at center. So we need to do the same thing for the image too. So I'll click on this container and remove the spacing. Then I need to put it at the center, align self, center, layout here. So come to align item center. So now we need some few spaces between them. So I can just come to this container here, then I will go to advanced here, then to margin, so that I can give it a space from the top. So I'll just put 50. So now if I should scroll it this way, this is what we have. So now I want to reduce the size of this heading a bit at the mobile. So let me put it, so now, okay, let me just put it at 30. So this is what we have. So let me space this a little bit. So I'll come to the container here. Let me give it 70 pixels spacing. So now we have a responsive design at the mobile, tablet, and then the desktop. So that's how to actually do responsive design. So we are done with the hero section. So now let's move to the next section. So I'll call this section like the attribute section, because these are the attributes that makes our business. So the navigation can also be put aside like this while you work. So now let's work on the next section. So the next section here, I'll actually be working with 3 columns, as I will call it. So I'll just say 3 container. So this is 2 container already. So we can just create 2, then duplicate it once again, so it can be 3, like we have it here. So that's how to create a 3 container. So now in this section, I'm actually going to be making use of an element called the icon box. So what I'll do is I'll just search it here. Now we have different kinds of icon. We have the normal icon, the icon box, icon list, social icons, and so on. So you can just test all of these together. So what I'll be using is the icon box. So I'll just drag the icon box here. So now this is what I'll be using. So now this icon box, you can have different structure. So by structure, I mean when you come to style here, you can simply make it left, so you can display this way, as you can see. So you can put it at center like this, and then also at the right. So you can display the icon at the top, on the center, at the right, and at the left. You can also align it to maybe at center, below, center, and then at the top. So I prefer this structure. So we're actually going to be going with this structure. So what we'll do now is I already have content like I told you. So I want to copy this content here. So in your case, you can just follow along and put your own content. So I'll come to content here. So now this element actually combines three different stuffs widgets together. So in this icon box, we have the heading, we have the text, and we have the icon. So this is where you can edit the three of them. It's not as if you edit them separately like these ones. So you edit them in the same elements here. So if I want to change the heading, this is how I'll change the heading. So as you can see, it has changed. If I want to change the text, let me copy the text first. So I'll just come here and then paste it here. Then the icon, I'll just come here to this place. So just use something like this. And there's a reason why I'm going for this icon, because when we're talking about listening, it means when you understand something, so when you get the details. So I believe this is what signifies it the most, a bob. But in your own case, you can decide to choose whichever icon you want. Just make sure that it is on all icon like this. Then you can scroll down and look at every icon that we have. You can also think of an idea that comes to mind, maybe like book. Then you see you have different icons on book. You have icons on social medias, a lot of them. So now this is it here. So let us style the elements. So let's start with the heading. So as you already know, we can style everything together. So come to the style here. So this is the styling for box, the icon, and then the content. So let's start with the icon. So for the icon, we also have different structure. This is it here, the view. You can change it to start, something like this, and then we can also change it to something like this. So in my own case here, let's see. So I just need this color back. So scroll up. So I copy this color here. So then I come back to style. Then I will just go to icon here and change the color to this. So we have this blue here now. So now I want it to have an hover effect. So once anybody hovers on the icon, the primary color should be okay. I'm coming. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, this is the primary color. The secondary color is the background. So I guess the primary color is the icon color. Yeah. So this is what I want. So once people hover on it, or else we can also have it the other way around like this. You see the start. Okay, so this is the other way around. You can also have the other way around like this, and then we can have it in a square shape or in a circular shape. This is the square shape. I think I'll prefer the circular. Then I will just leave it at the other stuff. So then let me edit. So under the content we have the title, and then we have the description. So under the title I want it to be plain black. So then the typography, I want to change the font, and then I just scroll down a bit. Okay, yeah, this is the description. Typography, I want it to be, so change the typography. So now the icon box, So now as you can see, the icon is very big, so I want it to be a little bit small. So now I want to adjust the spacing between the header and the text, the title and the text. So let's go to the box here. So content spacing. So this is it. So let's see. So I think this is okay. Now icon spacing a little bit. Let me put it at 20. Then I want to reduce the icon more. So I'll just come here and then reduce the size a little bit more. So that's how we do it. So now there's one more thing I need to do. So I want to style this container in such that I want to give it a shadow effect. So how do we do it? So I'll just click on this container now, come to style, then go to border here, then come to box shadow. So by just clicking it, it has automatically activated the shadow for me. So let's see how it looks like now. So this is how we have it now. So in this case, we can decide to adjust the shadow. So such that when we come here, this is the blur, so we can reduce the blur a bit. Yeah. So we have something like this. So under the shadow options, we have blur, we have vertical, horizontal, and spread. So what I want to do is I want you to just play around all of these options to see how they work, so we can move further ahead. So what I'm going to do now is uh, I'm going to increase the blur a little bit here. So let me be like 20. So stuff like then I'm going to change the color from black to this purple color here. Then I'm going to reduce the transparency. So this place is for transparency. So if I increase it's going to be very thick. So I'm going to reduce the transparency just like this, so that when we view it this way, it looks like this. So now what next I want to do is I want to give it border radius. So I'll just increase the border radius so that it can have rounded edges. Let me increase it to 25 here. Yeah. So now the next thing I need to do is I need to put spaces around the container. So I mean padding, so that there can be spaces up, left, right, and then the bottom. So I'll just increase the padding here a little bit, 15. So yeah, let me put a little bit more spaces, like maybe 30. So this is what we have now. So at this point, I think I love what I'm seeing. So now what I want to do is I want to create, I want to make this type of stuff here in I want to make it in three places. So to actually have this container in three places, it's very simple. So all we have to do is just duplicate this container in three places like this. Yeah. So now we have three of the container that we have worked on, while these spaces are for the empty containers. So and what we do, we actually remove those empty containers. So I'll just right click here and then delete, right click and delete. So now we have our three containers. Now there's supposed to be spaces beside this container. So now let's try our justify content um, option. So I'll just click on the container, then we go to justify content, space between. Let's see. Okay, let's see space around. So normally I don't usually use this normal. I don't use this. So as you can see, it's not moving. So but what I do is so let me just remove this. So to put space in between them, what I normally do is I will just go to this container here. So then I'm going to apply my space, so no space outside. So I'll just close this in. I just want to put spaces between the left and right. So I can just have 20 pixels space from here and then 20 on the left as well. So for this container. So then I will do the same thing for the second container. I'll put 20 here, then 20 here. Sorry, and then another 20 here. Then we'll do the same thing for this, for the last container. Close this and we put 20 here and another 20 here. So when we view it like this, so we have spaces between them. So now there's one more thing I want to do. So it's like overlapping. So let me remove this navigator. So I want this stuff to overlap my hero section. So let me show you what I mean. So I'll just click on this container here. I'll go to advanced, then I'll deactivate this. Then from the top I will minus it, something like this. So now I don't want it to go, as you can see it is going beneath. Okay, yeah, it is actually not going beneath, but what happens is that this individual container does not have any color. They are transparent. It's not as if they have white color. They do not have any white color because we did not give them color. So the moment they start going on top of our ego section, they have started attracting them. They started applying this color to them because they don't have any color yet. So this is what I'm going to do. So just watch. If I go to this container now and I go to style, then I go to background type, then I choose the color here. So now I can choose white. So now it is, now we have officially given it a white color. So now the same thing we're going to do here. Come here, we're going to give it white color. Then we do that to the third container as well. So now I'm going to go back to the container because I don't want it to overlap too much. So I think it's okay at 50 pixels. So we have this now. So then I click on save. So because I want more spaces at the top and at the bottom. So what I will do is I'll just come to the container here at the top, then I'll come to the advanced, so I can increase these spaces here maybe to 80 and then this also to 80, so that they can be breathing space, as you can see, so you can have more space. So now we are good to go. I guess we are done with our second section. So now we can update our design. So very quickly, I actually forgot that I have not edited the content here, so I'll just do that very quickly now. So we can go on to the next section. And the next section, so we'll be having two columns. So I'll choose Flexbox, then choose two containers rather. So now I want to space, I want spacings to be between this container and this container here. So just click on this container, I'll come to advanced here. So I'll close this, then I'll put 70 pixel, so 80. So now we have 80 pixel of spacings there. So now I want to add carousel. Drag the carousel here. So then I'll choose the pictures I want to choose. So I will come here again and drag everything. Then click on create a new gallery, insert gallery. So I want it to show just one picture, and then it's going to be a full picture, and then um, image stretch, yes. So we put it, I leave it at arrow and dot. So let me additional to play, yes. Infinite loop, yes. So now we can decide if it's going to be sliding in at the right or at the left. So I think it's good at the right. So let's check the style, though there should be nothing much to do at the style. So arrows should be inside, because if they are outside it's not going to look okay. So arrows should be inside, and then the pagination, which is this dot, should also be inside. So the pictures are not long, just like this one is tall. That's why the pagination seems to be outside here. So now from here you can change the arrow color. If you want to change the color of the arrows, the color of the pagination, you can change them here. So but in my own case I think they are okay. So and then you want to adjust anything from the image. So but there's nothing much to do from the style here in terms of image carousel, so I'll just leave the settings as they are. So now in the second container here, so I want to have a heading and a text. So I'll just get this heading here, I'll drag it here. Then I'll also drag a text here beneath it. So now I already have my content, so I'll come here. So now this is my heading. Copy it and come to my heading here and paste it there. As well as my content, I will copy it. Then I'll come here and paste it. So now I want to style this container, I want to give it a background. So I will be using on the almost the same styling that I used here. So I need the colors. Just copy this gradient here. Though I can as well as copy this and paste the style, but I just want to do it from scratch again. So I just copy this, then come here to the container here, go back to style, then I'll choose gradient, I'll paste this, then I'll go on ahead to copy the second color. So I'll come back here and then click here. So then change the red to the second color. So then the angle, so I want it to be by the side. Yeah. So now we need padding. So we need to give it some padding. So we come into the advanced. So we should add at the container on the container here. So we need some padding. So I just deactivate this, then I'll add some padding here. Okay, let me give it 50. And at the bottom we have 15. So then left and right. So okay, so I think it's okay. So what I can do, I can give it more padding. Let's make it 80 at the bottom and at the top. So then I'll change this, I'll style it to change it to white, then change this to urban sign. So as we already have it, then change the text color to white. And change the typography as well to urban sans. So now I just need to increase the typography a bit like this. So now I want it to be centralized. So just come down here, put it at the center, and then these two at the center. Same thing with this, I'll just come down here, put it at the center, and then these two also at the center. So now I see that I need to change the dots, the color. So I'll just come to style. So I'll come to pagination here, then I'll come to color, and I'll choose white. So now it says active color. So the active color can be blue. So we have it like this. So now there's something we call divider here. I always use it, just put it under the title to divide the title from the text. So solid, I want to change the color to white so you can see my editing. So now it's currently at white. So now we have the width and we have the weight. The width works on how long it's going to be. So I think it's okay at 20, or better still, let's put it at 15. Then the weight determines how thick it's going to be. So if you should increase it, the weight will be increased. So you can just put it at 2.5. So it's okay like this. Then there's one more thing. So now let me show you how we use the shape divider. So if I should come here to the container, so I can just come to style here, I close the background, so I go to shape divider. So for the top, I'll just choose let me use tilt stuff, something like this. So we have stuff like this. So you can choose to tilt it at the top and then also at the bottom. So you can change how much it is being tilted. You can do the same to the bottom as well. Stuff like this. So you can play around because we have different options. We have clouds, stuff like this. You have different options. You have curve, you have wave, so you can just play around this yourself. So, but in my own case here, I think let me see the one that is now at. So I guess I'll just go with clouds. So this is okay by me. So now let's save our changes. So now I guess we are done with the third section. So right now we are going to the next section and we're almost done. So in the next section is going to be company we have worked for. So now the next section I'm actually going to be doing it as quick as possible since we're already much more familiar with everything we are doing now. So in the next section I'll just create a single container. Yeah, I'm going to give it let me check how much margin did I choose here. Okay, 80 pixels at the top. So then I'm going to do the same. Come here, then put 80 pixels at the top. So then, so instead of creating a new heading, dragging a new heading, styling it from scratch, so what I will do is I'll just come here and copy this, then I'm going to paste it here. Though I will not be able to see it, and you know why? Because it is in white color. So what I have to do is I just need to change its color. So I'll be using this color here. So I'm copying this, then I'll go back here. So then come here and change just the color. Then I'm going to put it at the middle. So then I will change the text to companies we worked for. Companies we worked for. So now the next thing I'm having here will be, yeah, carousel. We have used carousel a bit in this project, so we'll be using carousel again. So but this time around we can have as much as possible displaying. So I'll just come in and then go back to my folders here, websites, and then yeah, these are some of the companies we have worked for. It's just some of them. I had to get some of their logos, so then I want to get it. So I can drag it in. So we can just create a new gallery and see how it's going to look first. So this is how it's looking. So like I said, I want it to be full, not thumbnail. I'll just come here and put it at full. Okay, so now it's so big. Now let me go back to thumbnail because I've set it at full. So let me see. Let's play around the size a bit. So you can show as much as probably 4. So as you can see, not all of the images are actually displaying well. So to actually fix this, you will have to edit some of the logos and stuff like that. So, but because of the course of this video, I'm actually just going to go with the few logos that displays well. So I want to remove some of the logos that are not displaying well. So, but in your own case, you can actually edit the logo by just going back to your software by resizing the logo. So but for this video I don't really have the time to do that, so I'll just remove some of those logo that are not displaying very well. So yeah, I guess I'll just retain this 5, then I'll render it this way. So okay, so now maybe I'll just put it at 3, or better still make it at 4. So change the color of the dots and the arrow, and then the active should be I guess the black soaking so it can show. So now what I need to do now is I need to space this. So I just click on this element here. I want to give it some margin at the bottom so there can be space. So I'll space that. So let's see how it looks here. So there's one more thing. I want to come here at the container. I want to shrink it a bit. Okay, it's not, let's see. Yeah, I guess it's okay like this. So you can click on update now. So we are done with the how many section? The number 4 section. Yeah. So let's move to the next section. So alright guys, let's go on to the next section of this website, which is our services section. So I want to create a section for our services. So to do that, I'll just let's add a container. So I think okay, this container is going to be in multiple faces, like so. Let me add some margin to the top so there can be space. Then I want it to have a gradient color just like the others. So I'll just copy the gradient color. So normally I could just copy, okay, let me just try and copy the star. Let me copy this, and then I'll paste the star right in. So now we are having so the margin is gone, so I'm just going to put it there again. So now we have our container. So I want to add an heading, so I'll just go back and copy the heading. So and then I'll just paste the heading here. So let me change it to what I want it to be. So I copied and pasted the heading because I didn't want to start designing the heading from scratch again. So that's why I just used the one I've done before. So I want to centralize it. So it's not working. So that could be from the container. So like we are using containers, so you just have to be used to all this. So let's go to justify content and see. Okay, let's put at center. So that has worked. So right now I want to add I want to What we are trying to do now is these are the four services I want to list. So I want to list them under this our services here. So I think what I will do is I will add new container again under this. I get okay, yeah, I'll have to drop it. So that's how it's going to work. So I just have to move this up. Okay, sorry. I have to drag the container to be below this title. So this can come to the middle. Then we already have a container inside of this container. So now I want it. So this container is going to be in four places that is going to house what we're going to do here. So I'm just going to duplicate it in four places. Okay, I think it won't work that way. So I think I'm actually going to add another container inside of this. So now this is the parent container here. So I'll just change it to horizontal so that the container inside can be horizontal. Yeah. So this is how it's going to work. So now I want to create the services section. So the first thing I have to do here is I want to add an icon. So this is an icon. So now we'll be having an icon, uh, the number, and then as well as the services that we offer. So in this case, I'm going to be using list icon list here. So that's how I'm going to do it. So now let me style the services. So let me style the. So I'm going to choose for the branding. The first service is branding. So I think fingerprint would be best for the icon here. So then copy the content. So I'm gonna use this first heading for the number. Very quickly, guys, I'm sorry I just had to do that very quick. So, but I believe at least at this point you are able to understand everything that I have done. So it's very simple. So what I did is after I actually duplicated it, I thought it should have this kind of like over effect. So what I did is I just came to this container like this, then I came to style. So under background, we just come to over here, then I choose the color that I want to give it once it's been hover. So this container actually takes up the space, so that's why the background takes up the whole space. So that's how we actually did that. So and then what did I do next? I simply added this icon here. We call it icon list. So this is where you add the text. So whatever you write is going to be displayed in the icon list. Then I also added the icon, so you can choose whichever you like for it. So because there are a list of services that we offer, so that's why I just used this check. We call it check icon. And so then I styled it. I changed the typography, so this is where we style it. So this is the text here. Then I changed the typography to Albert San, and then so that was what we actually did to it. So it's very straightforward, very straightforward. So and then now let's just move to the next section. So in this next section that we're going to be doing, we're also going to be making use of another element that we have not actually used since the beginning of this video. So let's create the section, the container rather. So now this container is going to be a 4 column container, something like this. But you will notice that what I do is usually after I finish editing one side of the container, I love to just duplicate it and I will eventually delete these empty ones. Now the reason why I used to just put the empty ones there is so that I want the size to be maintained while I am doing the design. Because if you should delete every of the other containers as well, it's if you should just create if you create a single container when you already know that you are doing something like for like 4 designs like this, no, you will not be able to project it very well. Do you get? So because it's going to be too wide. If I want to do something like this and I'm designing it in a very wide width like this, I won't be able to know how to do the spacing very well. So that's why if I'm going to be using 4 containers or 3 containers, so for like example this I'm using 4, so I'll just start with 4. So then I would I already know that this is the space I want to maintain. So that's why I do that. So right now let me give it the margin like I used to. So I'll just off this and then give it 80 pixels at the top. Then so I want to make use of an element called counter. So just type in counter here. This is it here. So I'll just drag it here. So this is what it does. So what I want to do is with this counter now we can list some of our attributes or achievements. So for example, the first achievement I want to list for my agency is the number of websites made. So I can just say project done or website project done or website completed. I can just come up with a name like that. So now I'm going to be typing it here. So now we have number. This is the 100 that we have here, and then we also have the number prefix and then the number suffix. So let me type the stuff here. Okay, let me just, okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So I want to type websites, websites completed. So now website completed. Now we can make use of the number prefix and suffix. Prefix means that if you want any figure or any letter or any stuff to come before the 100, so now I can just, if you type anything, it's going to come before the 100. So now what I want to come before the 100 is plus, so that they will see that it's going it is 100 plus, or plus 100 website, or I can put it at the back, 100 plus website. I think it's okay like this, 100 plus website. So yeah, I've a truth to at least since I've started, should have built 100 plus of websites. Yeah. So now let me finish editing that, so before I start transferring it to the others too. So I want to get a color. So I just come here and paste it here, 100 plus websites. So then I want to change the title font to Albert San, so something like this. So the number, if I want to adjust the number as well, I can just increase the size there, or I should just leave it at this, and then maybe I can use railway for this, then increase it, then increase the font weight to start something like this, and increase it a bit. So 100 plus websites. So you can also change the figure as well. Let's say maybe I want to say I've created 500 plus website. I'm not sure if I've actually gotten to 500 plus, because basically I'm a freelancer, though I also work, this is my agency as well. So, but I know I've actually done more than 100. So then after that, we can, I think the styling is okay. There's not much styling to do for this. So then I can just duplicate it into 4. So I will then remove. So if I don't want to duplicate, I can just simply copy these elements and paste it here. Because, okay, let me just show you that, because since the beginning of this video I've been showing you how to copy and paste style. So there are some times you might not want to paste style. You can just paste the whole element. If I should copy this element now, I can just come here and paste it here. So not paste out, so it will just paste it and stuff. If I don't want to duplicate, so I just paste them inside the container. But the reason why I can do this is because there's no specific styling that I have assigned to the container. So if, assuming I also apply some styling to this container, I would have preferred to duplicate the container so that everything can be similar. But because the styling I've applied is only to the counter element, so that's why I can just copy and paste the elements like that. So now I can just edit what I want to put inside of them. So right now to the, let's say the last section that we have on this website. Then after that we'll be going to the footer, which is the one that usually here beneath the website. So let's create the last section on this web page. So to create the last section, something I want to do is going to be something like this in the last section. So what should I do? Okay, no problem. So let me just what I'm going to do, I'll use this section to create the last section. So because most of the time I don't design from scratch. Once I've created one or two sections, I just use that to do the other stuff on the website. So now I've deleted that side now, and I want this section to actually take up the full width. So I just increase it to 100, and then I also don't want all of this what's it called, all of this shape divider, or should I leave it? Alright, let me finish this section, then we know maybe I will leave it. So this is what we are doing in this section. I'll just copy the heading here, I'll just paste it here. Then this shape divider, I'll just put it at the center. Then I'll just copy this, so I'll paste it in here. And so then the last thing, I want to add a button, so I'll just come here and copy it here. Then I'll just come here and paste it right here. So now we have a button. So here I can reduce, so I don't want the space between the button and the text is too much, and that's because of the default spaces that we normally have. So I'll show you how to fix that. You see the space too much. Then I think the divider as well, the space is too much. So let's see, let me just remove all of the margin and padding. Let's see, remove every margin and padding. So now I can see that there's nothing causing the space. So let's see the gap. Okay, so now I've removed the gap, so I think that's okay. So now it remains the button, so it needs to be shifted up a little bit to move closer to this text. So I'll just do that from the margin here. So I'll minus it a bit, maybe like 20 pixels. So let's see how it looks. So now I need the text to actually go down a bit from this divider. So I'll just increase the margin here so it can actually. So now let's see. So now the text is somehow, I don't like it how it's on the straight line. So what I can do is I can just come here and give it some padding. So give it some padding right and padding left, 20, and just come here and give it 20. Come here and give it 20. Okay, let's increase it to 40, 40 or 50. Yeah, I guess that is not going to solve the issue, so I'll just close the padding. So what I can do, though, that's what I normally do. Just come to this container, then I come to the layout, then I shrink the width. Okay, sorry, the container, that just come to the container, then I shrink the width a little bit, something like this. So I want the text to be in the middle. So and then I want the stuff to be aligned to the middle as well. So I'll just come down here, I use justify content and I align so that everything can be in the middle. So as you can see that I'm actually using it so that if this doesn't work, this should work. So just try it out like that. So now for the even though I think I prefer the top shape divider here, but I don't like the mounting. So I'll just click on the container. I will go to the style, then close this, then go to shape divider, then go to bottom, then I'll change it from clouds to, okay, let's see now mountain. So this is mountain. So I can increase the height, something like this. So I guess this is better than the cloud that we have here. So I like this mountain. So I think we are done. So now, even though it looks like we are done, but actually we are still far from done, because there's still one more very important aspect of this website that we are yet to actually um, um, sort out. So you need to fix the mobile responsiveness of this website. So let me show you. I already showed you in the beginning of this video. So just come and take a look. So if you go to the mobile responsive, though we have fixed this already, we have fixed this. So now this also okay. So now we need to work on and check if we have any glitches on our website. So as we can see so far, there are not much glitches, and the reason is because I've been duplicating what I've been doing. So because I have already styled this for mobile, so that's why everything looks okay. But though everything looks okay, we still need to do some few adjustments, like let's reduce this on mobile a bit. So I just come to style, and then I will reduce this a little bit. So let's put it at 30. So it's better like this. So I think everything looks okay, just like this. So I go to go. Let's check our tablet device and see if it's okay. So we've sorted this out. Now in tablet, I don't actually like this. So let's see how we can adjust this on tablet. So let's remove the spacing a bit, and then the content spacing. So I think, let me see. Yeah, the padding. So I'm just gonna remove all of these. Then the container padding, yeah. So the top, okay, I think it's okay like this. And just remove the button and reduce the button a bit. So others can maintain the 30. Okay, it's okay like this. From the left, you can just use to 10, or let's try 20. Okay, 20 is too, it's not okay. So let me just use 15. Yeah, 15 is okay. So now, as you can see, I've removed the padding button, but the reason why it's still there is because of the others. So once I start adjusting the others, everything will come to normal. So I'll just paste star here. I'll place the star here too. So as you can see, the padding button is gone. So but for the sake of this that has a kind of like longer text, I think we need to add the padding button to this, just for the sake of this one. Let's put 10. Okay, 20 should be okay. So I think it's okay like this. Yeah. So let's see the other sections. Everything seems okay. It's okay. Yeah, these ones are too, they are cutting, so I'll just reduce the size a bit. So it's just going to be 25. So let's try for this to paste star. So web design is obviously a longer text, so So space time. Web design and advertising are longer, so I will just, so it means I have to reduce it a bit. So let me start from reducing web design and see how. So now we only need around 22 pixels. Let's see 22.5. So 22.5 is okay. So let's use 22.5 for the others, so that so they can be uniform. Paste star, then paste star. So let's see what we are. So these ones are too big. So just reduce it a bit like this to 70, and then the text spacing. Wow, it's gone. So that's one thing about this counter element. You can actually fix this issue sometimes. So the line spacing, we call it line spacing, I guess. So just need to actually adjust the line spacing. Come to style here, title, and typography, and the line spacing. That's okay. Let me increase it a bit. So here, so this is 70, so let me put it at 70. 17. So now what I can do is okay, let me so I think everything looks okay now. So I'll just copy this, and then I will paste the star. Paste the star, and do the same for this as well. Then we can come here to where the text is disappeared, so you can cut it and paste it back. So now it's okay. So now there's one more thing that we are here to do, and that's the animation. I promised to show you how to do that at the beginning of this video. So now let's save everything I've done so far. So let me quickly run the animation on the website. So it's very simple. So to create the animation, I will just give the animation to each element. So you can give animation to the whole container. So if you give the animation to the whole container, it's going to apply to everything at the same time. But if you give it to the element, it's going to be individual. So let me give it to the element just like this, and I'll come to advanced. So under layout, I'll just code. Okay, sorry, I'll close layout, then go to motion effects. Then under entrance animation here, I'll just come here. So I guess it's going to be good. So let's try fading. So that's how it's going to come in. So it's going to fade in. So I think it should let's use zooming, because I would want this to actually zoom in, this to zoom in, then this image to also zoom in. So you can also delay it, such as, okay, this is the duration, so I want it to be slow, something like that. Then okay, zooming will not be good for text. Zooming is usually best for images or stuff like that. So I'll just use fading. Fading is best for text like that. So I'll just there shouldn't be any delay. So I will do the same for these two. So I'll click on the element, then I'll come to advanced, then I'll come to motion effects, then I'll use zooming. Yeah. So then I can slow it down, and there shouldn't be any delay. So then we come to the button. So then to the button, so I'll just come to motion effects. I'm going to use sliding. So this is going to slide in from the left. I'm going to slow it. So So I can add delay. I can put a 2 seconds delay. Then same thing for this. I can come to motion effects. Then I'm going to slide in from the right. I'm going to slow it down and put 2 seconds delay. So let me update it and see what we have. So I'll just preview the changes so you can see it. I think it's okay like that. So now let's work on the container. So you can play around with the animation and just set it the way you deem it fit. So now this one I want it to slide up. It's going to slide up. Going to slide up. It's going to be slow. Should be, and this should have animation should also slide up. It's milliseconds. So I have successfully give animation to everything. So let's see how it looks like now. So that's what we have now. So now we're almost done. We just have our header and then our footer. So let's go on and create our header and footer with Elementor. So now to create header and footer, there's a particular plugin that I normally use. So the name of the plugin is Elementor header and footer. So let's go to add new plugin so you can check it out. Just search for Elementor header and footer. So this is it. So it's already on the website. So I just have to update it. So in your own case, you just have to install and activate it. So once you've installed and activate it, now search for Elementor sticky. So this is it here. Sticky header effect for Elementor. So with this we can create a sticky header for our website. So I'll be showing you how to use that as well. So let's just install and activate it. So to create our header and footer, all we have to do is just come into appearance. So now there's one more plugin that I want you to also install. It's called, so just come up here. You can also, or just come down here, sorry. So it's called Inverter. In case you are yet to install it, just search for Inverter. So with Inverter, you easily create your footer. You can easily create both your header and your footer. So I already have Inverter, so I'll just update it. So now to create our header and footer, just come to appearance here, then go to Elementor header and footer. So once you have installed and activate plugin, you'll be able to see it there under appearance. So now what I'll do is, now I want to create my header. So I'll just come to where it says add new. This is it here at the top. So just click on add new. So then name it header. So now we need to do a little setting. So here under where it says types of templates, just choose select option and select header. So it's header we are building. Then you select option here and choose entire website. So that's the two settings. Then you click on publish. So these two settings will make sure that the header is shown on all of our websites. Then we can click on edit with Elementor now. So to create our header, if we want to use Envato elements, so this is the Envato element that we install and activate. This how to use. So this is the icon here. So just click on this icon, then go to free blocks here, then go to header. So this is where you can find a lot of templates for header. Maybe if you do not want to start building the header from scratch, but as you already know, since you're actually going to be using Elementor to build from scratch, so we'll actually be building it from scratch. But I'm only showing you this in case you want to use that. So now to build our header, which is very simple, I need just three let's see, yeah, just three columns. So I'll just come here and choose so okay, now let me choose 2. Then I will duplicate the other one. So now we have 3. So this is how to create 3 container. So now within this 3, we can adjust in the individual by just dragging it like this. So what I want to do is, in this first container, I want to put my logo. So I just drag an image here. So I'll just click here to choose the image. So I'll go to upload files, then select files. And click on select. So this is my logo. So right now I'm just going to make sure that it is at the middle. So justify center should be in middle and align center should be in middle. So here I will just drag it a bit now like this. So here I want my menu. So I'll search for menu here. So we can use navigation menu, nav menu. So depending on, so let's use navigation menu. So now we can't find anything here because I've not yet created menu on my website. So I'll get back to that later. So let's leave that. So now I want a button to be here. I just drag the button. Okay, sorry. I just drag the button here. So what I want to do is I want to copy this and then paste down here, so that I don't have to design the button from scratch again. So then I make sure that everything is in the center. So now I can change the text to get in touch. So right now what we have left is the menu. So I'll actually be fixing that now. So let me reduce this a bit to 50. So I'm going to save this. So Now let's fix our menu. So now I've not yet created menu on this website. I'll just come to menu here. So now I'll just name it main menu, and then I'll create menu. Though I have a separate video, I'm actually going to create a separate video on how to do header menu and all of these things. So that's why I'm just going to be fast in this video. So I'm going to add the home, add menu. So then I'm going to use custom links. So that's why I say I have a separate video for menus. So I'll be explaining everything. So then it's going to be about, this will be services, and this will be contacts. So right now I have set my menu, so I'll just click on save menu. So in your own case, what you can do is just follow along me, just follow along everything I'm doing, so that you can actually get the same result that I'm getting. So I'll just go back to edit header here, so I'll have to reload it. So now once I've loaded, as you can see, we already have our menu. Because if I should click here, the main menu that I created, because if you remember, that's the name of our menu, I named it main menu, so it has been added automatically here. So I want it to be in the center, and then I want to change the typography. I want it to be Albert Sam. Yeah. Then the underline, it shouldn't be color green. Let's see the over effect, so I want it to be color blue. I'll just copy this, then click on this, then come to the over. So I want it to be that blue, and this blue. So then I want it to be in capital letter. So I'll just come to typography, come to under transform, I'll change it to uppercase. So something like this. So now we have our menu. So now there's one more thing I want to do. I want it to be in I want to create a shadow, a little bit of shadow. I'll just click on the container, come to the styling, then go to the border, then box shadow, then I will just scroll down a bit, open it again, then change the color to blue, then I'll reduce the blur to 5. Okay, let me increase the blur to around, let's say 10. So what I'll do is I'll just reduce the transparency. So that's it. So I want this, I'll click on this container. I want the menu to be at the center. If you look at it, it doesn't okay, but the menu and the button, they don't actually look, see if they're in the center. So I'll just come here and centralize them, center here. I'll just click on this as well. I'll centralize it, so it seems that it's centralized already. So the button still doesn't look centralized. So I'll just click on this container, I can do the same, centralize this, centralize this. So okay, now I get it. I actually pasted the style from here, and if you remember, I added some margin here so that the button can actually move up the other time. So I'm going to remove the margin. So if I come here, so I'll click on this. So you have to be observant of all of these things too as well. That's why I'm showing you all of my try and error. So I just clean it. So then use it now center. So now there's one more thing. I don't want the spacing to be too plenty like that. So I'll just remove the margin here, the padding here. The reason is because I'm actually going to make it sticky. So when any header is sticky, it shouldn't be too big because it's going to be taking up a whole space in the website. So now there's one more thing I want to do. There we call it the top bar. So I want to quickly create a top bar. So I just create a container like this. The top bar can have your your phone number. So I'll just use a text. So I can just get the stuff from here. So I'll just get this color. So I'll just copy this. Then I want to change the color to that. So I'll paste it there. So once I've pasted it, so now though what you can also do is you can just use icon list. Instead of this, I just search for icon list. Now you drag it in. So you can delete this. So we come here, then we remove the two, then we change this to call or phone. So change it to phone. You can change the color as well here. Icon, change the color to white. Then the text should be white as well. So now we can put the number there. So it can be plus 234. So in case any country that's watching, though this is not a real number, so let's just a dummy number. So we can go to that. So then we can add some padding to it to match up with the logo. So it's going to be, so let me just add some margin left so it can match up with the logo. So let me add more. Put it at 70. Okay, it's not good enough. So let's put it at 80. Yeah, I think it's okay like this. So here you can add your number, your WhatsApp number, your email address, and other stuffs too. So if you want to do that, so just come to icon list, can duplicate it like this, then change it from default to inline. So something like this. So then you can add all other stuff. So you can change this to WhatsApp. So that's WhatsApp. So you can also add your email. You can duplicate it, then add email or search for mail. Let's use this like that. So I can just add info at, so let's add this. So that's how we can do it. Then we can save it. So now there's one more thing we need to do. So I just come to this container. I want the header to be sticky. So if you go here now, let me load the website. So now we have our header now. So if I should scroll down, as you can see, it is not yet sticky. So you can scroll down. So I want the header to be sticky. So to be sticky, this is what I mean. So I'll just click on the container. Remember the plugin I told you to download to install, the Elementor sticky. So just come here. This is a sticky header effect. So if you have not installed and activate it, you will not find it here. So just enable it and click on update. Though it has more settings, but I will not be going through all of these settings with this video. So just enable it. So then you can scroll down. So now we have our sticky header. So now it remains one more stuff, and that is the background, because we have not actually added any background to the header. So we add the background here. We add the background right inside the sticky header. So here we just say background color should be white. Click on update. So if we should come here and reload, so it should maintain, as you can see. So that's how to do it. So I think we're done with the stuff. So this will not be working yet, so I have a separate video on this, so I'll be dropping it very soon. So now, right now guys, this is how far we have gone in our website creation tutorial with Elementor. So we have been able to create our header, top header, and to make it sticky as well. And then we've created a lot of section just like this one, so you're seeing here, and then adding nice animation effect to it all. So I will leave the creation of footer to my next video, so just stay tuned to this channel where I will actually work on creating professional footer. And then also you can check the link in the description of this video for links to other useful videos on website design. So as you can see already, it was not very easy to create all of these designs from scratch. So that's how it has always been. Creating websites from scratch is usually a very dedicated job and tasking project, and that's why in most of my projects that I collect in real life, that I do in real life, I actually make use of templates. So not that I can't build websites from scratch, I can definitely build stunning websites from scratch, but I also have stunning and much more professional template that will give you even more than what you can ever imagine of building from scratch. So I use templates as well. So if you also want to learn how to use templates to build websites so that you won't have to start from scratch like this, you can also stay tuned. I'll be creating more videos on that, and once I'm done, I'll just link it to the description of this video. And then as well, it's very important that you also learn how to build websites from scratch just like this without any template, because it is until you can build websites from scratch like this that you'll be proficient enough to edit any kind of template. Yes, once you're able to do stuff like this from scratch, it will be easier for you to actually know how to edit any kind of template. And when we're talking about editing of templates, you need to also learn how to use Elementor section. As you already know, we have just used Elementor container to build this website. So I also have a video on Elementor section. I will also link it to this description so you can check it out. So guys, this will be the end of this video, and I hope you have gained a lot in this video. And if you have actually gained a lot in this video, I want you to do me the favor of just clicking the subscribe button, like this video, and then if you have any questions whatsoever, just let me know in the comment section and I'll be there to answer you. Thank you guys, and see you again in another video.